You're listening to 89.3 FM KAOS Olympia, Washington, radio for the South Sound and way beyond. Check us out at www.chaosradio.org. Well, on the phone line right now, I have Gilbert Walkinghorse and his wife, Diane, and I'm going to turn up the volume here, and you all are on the air. Are you there?
Yeah.
Hey, Gilbert.
Hi.
Welcome. Welcome to the show.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
All right.
All right. Are you in Olympia these days?
Yeah.
Yeah. You just got here today?
No, I'm still over here in Idaho. I'll be there tomorrow evening.
So tell us a little bit about where you're coming from. Which part of the country you're coming from?
I come from South Dakota, the Black Hills, Hot Springs, South Dakota. This is where I have a healing center developed. And what I do now is I go to places where I was asked to come to present myself in a way with Lakota culture and our religion. And I've been all over the country traveling to places where there's groups that very much interest in the native religion, so I was asked to come to guide them and help them, especially the Inipi, which is English is the sweat lodge. So I'll be in Olympia tomorrow evening or to 1 o'clock tomorrow afternoon.
Friday.
Talking to the students there.
So, tell us a little bit about the center. The name of it is Tatankamani. What does that name mean, and what does it symbolize for the work you're doing?
Yeah. This is one of the visions was given to me many, many years ago when Togashilas gave me this vision in time that you will have a place and you will do healing to mankind. This is the vision was given to me. So over a period of time, I've been searching where it's going to be, and one day came back the ideal place where Togashila showed me in my vision one night, and here I saw the Black Hills. In fact, that's where I was born, the Hot Springs. So we went back there and searched the place, and we found the ideal place for it. In this vision is that the grandfathers showed me is what to do, how to run a sweat lodge, and use that sweat lodge to help people who have 4 things that they show me is people with sensitive and mentally problem, physical problem, and a spiritual problem. So these 4 things Togashila showed me, and with this sweat lodge that you shall help them, heal them. So this is where we started a few years back, and off the reservation, I'm in the Black Hills, to have this healing center start. And I support myself all over. I travel and do workshops. But I have quite a few people in the United States that come to participate in healing ceremonies. But I'm actually is a ego healer. I'm not any other type of people go to get healed by. I'm an ego healer. This is the power that grandfather has placed upon me. So I have my own way of healing people with my
Could you talk a little bit? Some people sometimes are confused about what the difference is between what some people call a medicine man and what others call a holy man. And I'm wondering if you could talk a little bit about what the difference is for you.
Yeah. A lot of these come from movies, that Medicine Man and that kind of thing, Medicine Woman. There is such thing as a medicine person. These people are given vision to handle I call them the root people, which all the plant that grows upon this earth that they have visualized. They give them vision to use certain roots to heal the sick. Like sometimes they tackle the leukemia or cancer, polio, even the AIDS when it came affecting these people in this country, that they have a special medicine. These are the medicine men. They handle the roots. They have no connection whatsoever from the spirit world. It was vision that was given to them to use in their vision certain roots that they show them, and these are the medicine man.
Mm-hmm.
And the medicine woman has the same thing. But English world, they misunderstood that there's holy mans. We, the people, two-legged people upon this world, that we are holy people because the grandfather has created us and give us a way to worship the God, Jesus, or the Great Spirit. So we are holy people. People didn't know this. Holy man, the man who has excess of communicated with the spirit world. Togashilas, the powers of the six directions that chose a man upon his sacred earth and gave him a vision to represent that directions, and he have spirits that come and communicate with him. So there are what we call word. I cannot really explain it. The word is like a go in between.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they are. What is that word that I always use? Remember? Anyway, they're translated the spirit language.
Uh-huh. An interpreter.
Intermediary. That's what they are.
Mm-hmm.
And when they placed them in an altar, so these altars belongs to the Great Spirit, and they chose a man and they set him in there, and they work between the spirit and the human race. So what the spirit will talk to him about a healing person, sick person, and they will tell him exactly what to do by getting medicines for that person, or they would themselves will heal that patient.
Mm-hmm.
When these things taking place, there's a lot of sacrifices involved in this when the spirit heal a patient. Patient may be, his background or her background may be very bad and took her sick and would like to be healed by one of these holy mans. She has to change her ways in her life in order to the spirit will willingly heal that person.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the difference.
Mm-hmm.
But the way you know that yourself, that then people know that, watch the movie and you see a holy man with medicine man with gourds and singing and rattling and all that. That's not it, see.
Mm-hmm.
But that's what they placed upon the native way of worshiping. So they look at us as openly rattling your gourd and carrying medicines and that kind of thing. That's not go with us holy men, see.
And then, some people I've heard too ask about, like, what kind of life does a holy man lead? Are they leading like a movie star life? Or what kind of, are they a humble person? Are they really popular? And I'm wondering if you had an answer to that question.
Yeah, the holy man life is changed completely, and you I would have to myself have to be humble myself towards the powers of the universe, the spirits that come. There's no way I cannot control Togashila's grandfathers in any way. I cannot manipulate them. It's them that who chose me to serve them, so I have to be humble myself. And towards mankind, too, I have to be really keep myself from flare up. I'm a human being, and I think for myself, but I have to keep myself from getting into arguments or anything like this, So, grandfather, know that if I keep myself this way, the power is be a lot stronger. That I obey their laws and ways, so they make me more stronger, so that I can serve without any hesitation that they will come and heal a person.
Could you, Gilbert, also tell us a little bit about your family history and who some of your relatives are that people might be familiar with the names of?
Yeah. Where I grew up with my dad he's a thunder dreamer. He served the lightning world, and his dad, my grandfather, his name is James Move Camp. And he's got a brother named Charles Chips. In those days, he got, different names. So my grandfather's father's name is Horn Chips. This Horn Chips is the one that in history that who give a sacred stone to Crazy Horse. If my brothers out there read books about him, he's well known for his strategic in battles. He fought for the rights of the people in the land, and he had the sacred powers from my great-grandfather. They are very much close relation on that side, so I'm related to Crazy Horse. He's my great-grandfather. And my dad's mother, she's from Sitting Bull, this band, and Sitting Bull is her uncle. So I am related to Sitting Bull on that side. So my grandfather, my dad's father, is well known for his healing powers. And when he was alive, there was all over the United States come there to heal by him. And a lot of them to this day still remember him, and the power is still among them, because this is where I grew up and knowing these things. And I always thought that I would be carrying out his powers, because he took me in and guided me and helped me a lot, and he never sent me to school. So my English language is very much need to be re-improved, but the Great Spirit always stand beside me and help me to speak to the mankind as what to say. And I believe in my heart that all things will be so according to the visions that they have given me. This country, the way it is, and things are changing. Grandfather made it so. So I share this with my brothers listening out there, that remember that you're a red man and you have a heart just like all the red men, and believe that we are of the sacred land. I share my powers, and I help non-Indians, and I cared for them because they believe the native ways, and they want to improve themselves, and they want to walk a path that is good for them. So I respect them, and I help them much as I can. And my wife, you heard her, she's non-Indian, but she much supporting me and guiding me in many ways in speaking the English language.
Could you talk a little bit about your upbringing as a child into being a healer, and also just sort of how a lot of healers are brought up in the Lakota tradition?
This is one of the things that I always tell people, that they pretended to be a holy person and want to be healers, and they talk all these things, but when I compare it myself, how it really happened, that it has to happen in youth, in childhood years. I was given a power when I was 4 years old, and my dad is a holy man, my grandfather is a holy man, healers and all that, but still, they didn't even know that the Spirit stepped in and they give me a power and make me see in depth of this world and how all the things come together as the way it is now. They show me all these things as a little kid and give me a power to know how powerful they are. So I grew up with these things. I was a very, very strange child when I grew up. I always want to stay away from people and always want to be in a world where there's animals, and somehow I speak to the animals. Animals seem like they look out for me, and the birds that flying by never flew away from me. Sometimes I sit there watching them. I spoke to my own mind. So this is the way I grew up. And knowing that when Togashila placed his power upon me as a child, that the lightning that struck me from above, that changes my whole life. Mm-hmm. So I grew up with this, knowing that the power exists far beyond all teachings of knowledge of people that who share, the professors that can explain things, but my mind is far above that, and somehow, why can't I speak the English language so I can be a professor, but I don't have the excess of that, see? So in my mind that I see what's going to happen to this land, what's going to happen to this world, and how could I share these things with mankind. Mm-hmm. I took it on my own to teach. So this is my life that I grew up with this ever since I was 4 years old. Mm-hmm. I was very much agile, very powerful kid when I grew up. And do you know that I went to college?
No.
And I've never been into school. Uh-huh. How powerful Togashilas are. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. It's through that college that I went to, I learned how to speak the language of the English language and learn how to write, and I wrote 4 books out of that, my classwork, because Togashila helped me to know these things, to share my ways with my knowledge, you know. Do you know that I played professional baseball at one time?
No.
Yeah, Pittsburgh Pirates.
Get out of here. Really?
Yeah, I belonged to. I was in the organization of Pittsburgh Pirates. I was in their farm clubs.
What position did you play?
Well, I had 2 positions. I was as a pitcher, and then I played at first base. Uh-huh. Yeah. Yeah, I was with them and for a couple of years, and I was going into higher up to go into when they called it fall. All the farm clubs, the best players were called to run for the winning in their areas and things, and I injured myself, so they held me back, you know.
Well, did you hear that we have a Lakota on the Seattle Mariners? Did you hear that?
Hey, I heard about that. Yeah.
He's got tattoos all over his arms. They one game they wouldn't let him pitch because he had tattoos all over his arms, so they made him put on a long sleeve shirt. Yeah.
You know, in that world that I was in at that time, that there was a lot of discriminations. Uh-huh. And I was held down at times when I was supposed to pitch. Sometimes they held me down, put me on first base, and let somebody else pitch, you know. But I just work myself through because I know what I can do, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And I believe and I know that the faith that I have, the powers of Gashla has given me, that I overcome a lot of these things in my life, you know.
Sometimes, oh sorry, go ahead. Go
yeah,
ahead.
I never have felt towards what has taken place, took place in the past. And I felt that we, the Native American people, should utilize our knowledge to the fullest, that we can be a lot greater people because the Great Spirit still kept this sacred pipe that placed upon the United States, and it's in South Dakota, and all the sacred pipe derived from that. We should be strong and believe in that we can make better ourselves and have a better spiritual power upon this United States.
Mm-hmm.
We can do wondrous things, but who's going to do these things? You know, who's going to be the leader? All our chiefs are not anymore, but we should be smart people instead of have discriminated against each other. And we shouldn't be doing these things. After all, the Great Spirit made us to be here in the sacred land and give us the power that we worship Him through that. See,
mm-hmm.
That's the way I felt in my heart. And I share with these non-Indians, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Past our past, and let us come together. Because if we do this whole world, United States, is very much in despair because the predictions are made. They predict that something's going to happen to this country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And I knew what it is, and I hope my brothers out there hear something that's going to happen. I don't want to put fear in them, but there's a spirit predicted that is very dangerous, you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So it'd be good that one learn how to pray. One learn how to pray to the Great Spirit who controls the whole universe, and He's the man that I always pray to, you know.
Mm-hmm. What is, as a healer and a holy man that does healing work, what is your understanding about the current health of our Mother Earth, and what can folks do to help heal it, the damage that's been done?
Well, the way I pray to the Great Spirit is that if one really realize that you have a life of your own, every human being, Grandfather, gives a path that is they chose to walk and make life any path that they wish to do so. If we all come together and Grandfather give us to take care of this earth, what He has said in the beginning of time when He created two-legged people upon this Turtle Island, that what He said, that remember me, all the things that I have given you. Now go and live upon this sacred earth as you wish to. And when you are in problem, that send your thoughts to me, and I will fulfill your thoughts, whatever you wish of me. I believe that every person here, even non-Indians, has responsibility of this land. And they too should remember and pray to the Creator so all things will change. Remember that He creates this earth, and up on this earth He placed all the root people, all the animal world, all the winged people, up on the water and the depth of the water, the fish nations. This is all His, and the power that He gave mankind to care for them and pray for them so that Grandfather will increase these things. We forget these things, and we expect a Messiah to come and correct our problems, but that's not the way it is. We should kneel down or go up on a hill and pray to the Creator that they are concerned people, and they want to have this air to change so they breathe better. All things will breathe this sacred air, and the water that they place upon it, the rain that comes, shall purify these streams, so that the animals shall nourish, and all things will nourish from these things. So I pray that way. Mm-hmm. Even though myself, with the sacred pipe, I took on this whole creation of Togashila, and I pray for things that may Great Spirit will give the newborn child. He may cause that child to be born to walk in the sacred path, so his generation would be a lot stronger. Mm-hmm. This is the responsibility I took on, and if one should like to hear at this time, that listen to the sacred prayer that I say. Is it all right for me to repeat it?
Sure, go
It will affect the pipe carriers, people that are concerned. It goes like this. When I pray to Togashilas, I said, Grandfather Great Spirit, I will not try to voice myself above you, nor will I try to equal myself to your powers. But I know that between heaven and earth, and up on the earth and the depth of the earth, and up on the water and in depth of the water, that you have created all moving things to dwell. And up on this earth you have created the trees, the bushes, and the grass, that the human race shall nourish from, as well as the animal world. And I also remember that you have created 4 directions. After all, there's 2 directions between heaven and earth, in the center of the earth, that you place powers. These powers, Togashila, come together and deliver the sacred pipe to the red man. And this Chanupa, the sacred pipe, you have you placed 2 laws with the sacred pipe, that it shall increase and it shall turn bad things to good. And for that reason, Togashilas, all the moving things upon this earth, hear my prayers and send your voices through these sacred pipe to the Creator Togashila, so that he may look down upon his creation and look down upon me, and hear my prayer and help me in my prayer, so all things may increase. This is my prayer to the Great Spirit.
Oh, thank you very, very much. So, a couple times you've mentioned here when we've been talking, and I've heard other people ask questions about what is the difference between a spirit that you've talked about, and I think some people think of that as a ghost or something like that, and I just maybe you could explain a little bit about what you mean when you say you're working with the spirits and the Tumkashilas, and what that means for folks who might not know.
Yeah. Well, it has been proven in past, even non-Indian world, that they know that, that when a person crosses over on the other side, if this person's not fully walking a sacred path according to their own faith and belief, if this person instantly died, or person got shot in car wreck as well as get run over, they'd get knocked over in the other world, and they didn't know that they're dead. So they are bound where they got killed. This is where all these hunting houses and places where people die to see a spirit show themselves. Mm-hmm. Now, this is what we call the common spirits. And they all also exist in the world, that they still live upon this earth. They're common spirit and live like us on the other side. And once in a while, they show themselves while they're doing that, for us to pray for them, so that the bondage that they're in shall be released and go back to the universal world of Togashila, where the spirit world is far above the stars that you see above. That's where the land of the great spirit is, and all the holy people return back to them. So that's the difference. This is where holy men come from. Their spirit come from the higher above, where the spirit land is, where all the people that walk in the sacred way in the path, they go back to them. And those that remain here are the ones that who, some one way or other, they don't walk the path. They just enjoy their life here, and when they return the other side, they're still in the common world of spirits. So there's people that have communication with you heard of all these channelers and palm readers and all these kind of were brought over from Europe. These are not sacred spirit that they channel to. The holy men, holy people, connected with these holy spirits, come from the higher up, and these are the healers that come to heal people, to listen to people's problems, and they help. So that is the difference. So anybody that has any questions of these things, that you got to remember that and understand that when one train himself upon this earth and believe in their God in ways that they shall return back the other world, that's where the sacred spirits are gathered in the other world. That's where they go back to. One time, half-breed asked me, where would I go because I'm half-breed?
And what did you say?
Whichever side you're strong, that's where you're going.
Now, on that topic, I went onto your website for your healing center, which is, I like to say, www.tatankamani.org. That's TATANKAMANI.org. And on there, you said a little bit about a vision of opening a pathway up to people of all colors. And I was just wondering if you could explain this a little bit more to the folks listening.
Just that you have all colors come to the pathway of all colors.
Well, you have your own mind, your own powers, and you chose a life to live upon this earth, and the Great Spirit will not interfere that, so you do as you wish. So it's your own spirit that you guide to make a path that's for yourself, and that's what you believe in. So that's where you will go, what kind of path of that church it derived from. So there's a lot of people changed it, they're Christianized. So you figure whole world that believe in God, believe in Jesus Christ, believe in the Moses, all these things were of that Jewish religious that came and flooded the whole world. So they too shall be part of that because they believe in God itself, We have that God in Lakota, but this God that I believe in is, they call him the Wakan Tanka. Wakan Tanka is the Great Spirit. But this is where my people believe in that, and this is where the Spirit go back to. And there's white people that come and believe in that. Remember, they say that the power is such that even the most hate person, if a person hated white people so strong that in his next life he come back as a white person. Vice versa. That's grandfather created us, and we should love one another. You remember that the whole world is connected together. And he placed upon this sacred lands of the white world, he created two people there, and he created two black people, and he created two yellow people and two red people. And these are the ones that co-root of respective race. And we all pray to the Creator in their own respective way. So when time comes that which one of these sacred powers that he gives to these people that he created will be the strongest, these are the ones that are going to pray to him, regardless what race they are. And when you really think about it, and people with straight knowledge that they have, they can talk about these things, but that's the way the Spirit have said it, that one of these shall rise, and that's the one's going to be the people pray to one God in the universe. And do you know that the 6 powers, 6 religions in the world, in which one of these is the strongest one that's going to rise above the other? But the native is the 7 powers, but nobody ever really recognized our ways. But that is the 7th power, the Native Americans here. The sacred pipe that lies in South Dakota is the core power, and all connected together. The history of us, we are created 2-legged people here. And do you know that? One thing that the Great Spirit did it that nobody knows, but when he formed 2 clays together to form a human being, do you know that he formed a woman first, and then a man, and the woman got up first? When he told him to get up, it's the woman that got up first, and then the man. So you know that the woman has power all greater than the man itself. But they're so humble. So we try to be biggie, but they're the ones above us. You know that too.
It's true. I was wondering, you have a little bit of time left, and I was wondering before we go if you could tell us a little bit about the work you've been doing at the Tonkamani camp and what's currently going on there now, and also, pretty importantly, how can folks listening help you all?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked this because, hey, when I started there, we had 24 acres, and I built a sweat lodges, and my vision is to utilize it to bring people in, anybody, all walks of life, that the door is open for it through ceremonies. The Spirit says, you are the doorkeeper of the Black Hills. So in my traveling, the places that groups of people asked me to come, could conduct sweat lodges, I told them that my door is open if you wish to come and to learn what I know about how to conduct yourself. If you wish to walk this path, you have to sacrifice yourself. So you have to study, learn how to run a sweat lodge. You have about keeping fires and learn how to pour water on the sweat and learn how to the songs and the prayers that connect it together for one ear. In the second ear, you can run a sweat, but you have to first do a 1 night of fasting with the sacred pipe that you wish to run a sweat lodge, to know more about these things you pray about, to learn the language, learn the prayers and songs. Hey, what's happening?
I don't know. It sounds like it's on your end.
Something beep here, I guess. Hello?
Yeah, you're still there.
Yeah. So this is what I'm doing, and also I have any kind of help from the government because I don't go to school, and they set up certain things that I should be entitled to, but I never went to school, so I was not given money that to educate myself with or have a business going. So I developed my own way of going around, and I asked for help. Help that I want is any kind of funds that can be given, any money can be given, so I can develop more into this my vision, because I heal people and I never ask anything. I leave it up to them to help me if they can afford it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the way I felt, because all holy men that never ask, never give a bill to any patient, it's up, leave it up to the patient how much they felt it's worth, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So this is part of me, that's what I'm doing there, see. And anybody that wish to come, that he has to come through. We have set it up in such way that they come to there to study, that they also have to give a helping hand towards my place there.
Uh-huh. Do some hard work.
Yeah, there's work. Also, we have it set it up so that they have to contribute something towards that.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, so you'll be here on Friday afternoon?
Yeah.
It says 1:15 to 2:45, something like that. And that's here at the Evergreen State College in Olympia at the Seminar 2, Building 1105 for the Synergy Conference. Was there anything else you'd like to say sort of to close things up?
The website. This is Diane.
Oh, welcome.
Gilbert's wife. If I could just step in here for a moment and
Please
say,
do.
if anybody is interested in meeting Gilbert or coming out to visit us or having us out to do a talk, we're always open for that, and you can get a hold of us through our website.
Could you say the website again? Uh-huh.
You want me to go ahead and say it?
Yeah, please do.
www.tatankamani.org. TATANKAMANI.org.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, is there anything else, Gilbert, you wanted to say to the people listening?
You know, I'm very pleased that you have me on there, and sometimes I'm very much reluctant about going in the air because I felt that what I am and what I'm doing, and I contribute a lot to people. Some of them never said anything about it, but I do heal a lot of people. And I felt good that Great Spirit done these things because I believe in their powers, and they do these things in my heart that all walks of life here in this continent that suffering. There's a lot of good people out there. I believe human heart, not what they look like, what they're doing, but I believe there's spirits in them that sometimes I see them, that sometimes I see pitiful people, you know, and I really felt for them that they have a life to live and need guidance. They need spiritual guidance so they can make worthy of themselves, you know. If only a lot of people come and understand how we felt and what we're doing, that we never turn away anybody from our place. And I believe that in the future a lot of things will come out of this, my teachings, you know. There's 7 sacred principles that I teach, that hoping that someday they may teach this in schools, that will help the younger generations. And out of these, there's groups that have them camps all over, and they too adopting this in a way to better themselves, you know. So these are things that in my heart that the Spirit know that what I said here are truth, and my brothers out there are listening that always believe that the Great Spirit loves you.
Yeah.
And pray to him that he will see that all things will be so according to our own vision, our ancestors' prayers will be in your hearts. And love one another, and care for one another. These are my prayers for my brothers and sisters out there. Let them know that I cared and I prayed for them, that may the good weathers will fall upon them. May they win things that they're seeking in their life. That's my prayers and saying to them.
All right, I want to say Wopi Latanka to you, Gilbert, and if you want to stay on the phone for a minute, I'll talk to you when I get off the air. But Gilbert Walking Bull will be here Friday from 1:15 to 2:45 at building. Let's see where to have this written down. Seminar Building 2, Building 1105. That's for the Synergy Conference coming up. Thanks once again, and thanks for tuning in. I'll be back in a couple minutes. So in the meantime, enjoy the music.
Ladies and gentlemen, two-time world champion singers, modern singers and songmakers, the Northern Free Singers, Hookah.
Well, thanks again for tuning in to 89.3 KAOS FM radio for the South Sound and beyond. If you want to learn more about the Tatanka Mani Center, you can go online and check out www.tatankamani.org, or you can call area code 605-745-4119 to learn more about how you can participate and help, and learn more about Gilbert and his teachings. Well, it's been another good Wednesday evening. Coming up next, Free Things Are Cool with Diana, and that's going to be great. That's coming up right after this show. And I'll be back next week, next Wednesday, to have more special surprises, more things to bring to you. Hopefully some audio I can play from the recent Leonard Peltier rally up in Tacoma. As always, I'd like to end this show with my tribute song to my sweetheart, although tonight's my sweetheart is going to be my son. as this song goes out to my son and all the sons and daughters out there, the children. This is a little lullaby for them from my friend Randy Wood. All right, thank you, Gilbert. And check out the Synergy Conference here at Evergreen State College campus going on all week. To learn out more about it, you can go to www.evergreen.edu/synergy or call 360-867-6493. Please do take care, and I'll talk to you next week.